Kavaliauskas against Deniz Ilbay. Ilbay comes from Cologne, Germany, and Kavaliauskas is an Oxnard, California product of Robert Garcia by way of Lithuania. Both of these guys are undefeated. So, you know, you talk about an undercard with some terrific fighters, as Christina said at the very outset of our show, and we've seen some good fights, both going the distance here in our card that's streaming live on TopRank.com around the world. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan with Rich Marotta, and glad that wherever you are, that you can be with us. Our fighters will be able to make their way in very, very shortly. Here comes Deniz Ilbay from Cologne, Germany, wearing a Mexican hat and a mask. I don't know what that's all about.
Like that mask.
I do too. Ilbay turned pro in November of 2011 with the TKO over Muhammad Ali in Germany. He went on to stop his first 3 pro opponents, and he's won them all ever since. This is his first fight this year, first time fighting outside of Germany. He's fought 83 professional rounds with a 53% KO ratio. Deniz Ilbay from Cologne in Germany. This is corner a hug. Garp Ilbay, Jason Parillo, Ralph Reich, and Jeff Crawford all work his corner with him. Oh, here he is, Deniz Ilbay, 15-0, 8 knockouts. Decked out in the red trunks. And now here comes Egidijus Kavaliauskas, as I mentioned, from Lithuania. He trains with Robert Garcia, Roger Anderson, and Marco Contreras. Don Turner, old friend, also in the corner there. He comes in here 12-0 with 11 knockouts. He's had an excellent, extensive amateur career, dozens of international titles. He's a 2012 Olympian. Turned pro in March of 2013 at the Home Depot Center, now the StubHub Center in Carson, California. Won a 4-round decision over Danny Leon, then stopped his next 11 opponents. This guy, as you know, Rich, is a pressure fighter who starts fast with plenty of power. He throws a lot of power punches. The book on a very strong left hook, powerful right hand, and he does have a one-punch KO power. So we're ready to get this one underway. So without further ado, here is Lupe Contreras.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the action here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. This bout set for 8 rounds in the welterweight division. The 3 judges are Kermit Bayless, Eric Cheek, and Bert Clements, the man in charge. Referee Vic Draculich. Introducing first, the fighter in the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing red trunks with silver and black trim. He weighed in at an official 146 pounds. He enters the ring an undefeated professional with 15 victories. 8 of those victories coming by way of KO. The 4-time youth world champion fighting out of Cologne, Germany, Deniz El Pistolero Ilbay. Across the ring in the red corner, wearing black with gold trim, he weighed in at an official 146.5 pounds. He too enters the ring an undefeated pro with 12 victories. 11 of those victories coming by way of KO. The 2011 World Amateur Bronze Medalist and the 2-time Lithuanian Olympian from Kaunas, Lithuania, and fighting out of the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy, Oxnard, California, the Mean Machine, Egidijus Kavaliauskas.
All right, so we take a look at the tail of the tape. You can see that Kavaliauskas is 1.5 inches taller. He's a half-pound heavier. He's 6 years older, and he has a 1-inch advantage in reach. He's coming off a win in February where he stopped Prentice Brewer in Studio City, California. And Ilbay is coming off a win in November. He won the IBF Youth Welterweight title, stopping Attila Koros in Germany. So here we go. Our third man in the ring is Vic Draculich. Good to see Vic in good health. He had some health issues, and he's feeling in great form, he told me. So Ilbay in the red trunks, and in the black trunks with the gold trim is Kavaliauskas. You see quite a bit of Kavaliauskas, and he's a very good fighter with a lot of power.
Yes, he is, and he's all business. He's all business when he gets in there. I think he's got a big future. I think this will be a tough matchup for Ilbay here tonight. Fighting out of the Robert Garcia Academy. And he's got that one thing, as you mentioned earlier tonight, that's hard to teach, and that's power. And he gets guys out of there quick. We talked about Bauer in that last fight. There's 5 straight fights for Kavaliauskas now have gone within 2 rounds.
I know the record of Ilbay, but I 15-0 with 8 knockouts, but I don't really know how good he is because, of course, I don't know the opponents that he's fought over there in Germany. But I do know this: Kavaliauskas is tapping him with that jab quite consistently here in the early going, and usually when he taps with that jab, he gets that distance and timing just right. He unleashes with the right hand or a big left hook.
Well, he can throw his jab with power, but I think what he's doing here in this round is using it as a rangefinder. You see him just kind of probing with it.
Exactly, Rich. Nice footwork by Kavaliauskas. Moves well, side to side, sets up now. His back is to the ropes. Kavaliauskas knows exactly what he's doing in there. 2012 Olympian, 2-time Olympian, actually.
Well, you put those international rounds in the bank. When you come into the pro ranks, you've got a distinct advantage.
Now, here's his hand speed showing here.
And again, now varying his attack and throwing to the body. You saw him double and tripling up with the left hook to the body.
When's the last time you saw an uppercut thrown 3 times? That's been a while. Again, the range finder, as Rich pointed out, and look for the right hand behind it. Or, he just really knows, with all the international experience, he really knows how to fight. Very smart in the ring, and he's got a great trainer in Robert Garcia. But they got something stable there in Oxnard, haven't they?
Yes, they do. And, with that kind of training and, the international background and the record that he's building up, I think it's getting to the point, and I'm not going to assume anything yet from this fight because it's just getting started, but I think they feel that they can move him quickly.
Well, he's 27 years of age, so it's time to start moving him, and that's what they want to do. Boy, he sat down in that right hand. Perfect body on the guy, Kavaliauskas. He's a top-ranked fighter, by the way. All right, nice round for Kavaliauskas there. This, again, is scheduled for 8 rounds.
You mentioned a top-ranked fighter. Let me get in a quick plug for a friend of ours and sometimes colleague at the broadcast table, Raul Marquez. His son, Arturo Marquez, signed with Top Rank yesterday. A professional contract.
Well, we certainly congratulate Arturo and a good friend.
Just made his pro debut in Houston just recently and won that fight. And he's got himself a top-ranked contract. That's a nice way to start.
Sure is.
Look, step to the side and then get 1 or 2 hard punches.
That's Robert Garcia there with a green top.
You come forward, step back, on your knees, and give me the right uppercut. It's all about left hook. Okay? Always.
A little abrasion on that left cheek of Kavaliauskas.
Smart.
So we're set to go here. The Colonel Bob Sheridan along with the Rich Murata. And we've moved to round 2 at the MGM Grand on a night of big anticipation for the Manny Pacquiao Timothy Bradley, number 3, coming up a little bit later on. A little house cleaning being done in the corner by the referee. There's a bunch of ice over there, and they say, hey, get that out of here. You guys slipping their ankles. So Kavaliauskas, who I thought won the first round, is in the black and gold with the black shoes, and Deniz Ilbay, he's in the red trunks, silver trim, red and white shoes. But you just see the power of Kavaliauskas, huh?
See, you look at Ilbay. He's only 21 years old. He looks, facially, you look at him, he looks like he's 30, 32, 35.
Well, he's got that receding hairline, which makes him look older.
Well, don't mention that to me. Receding hairline. It's also fun as the day wears on into the afternoon and evening here at MGM Grand is to see the great fighters come in. As we had Terrence Crawford earlier, and we mentioned Sergey Kovalov is in the house, and now Vasil Lomachenko is here, and I guess we're going to get an opportunity to hear from him in a little bit with Christina Poncher. And of course, Roberto Duran is going to be here. I think Roberto grows in stature with fans. They love him more every year since he's been retired. He gets a great reception.
And Rich is the president of the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. You had him at a function last night for you, and fans really turned out to see him.
People love the Hands of Stone.
And there's a movie coming out of him.
That's right. That's correct. He's got a movie and his autobiography, or a biography of him coming out this year.
Roberto Duran, Manos de Piedras, Hands of Stone.
We'll see him later on in the ring, I think, later on tonight before the main event.
Right here, we're in round number 2, and Kavaliauskas continues to land that jab on the head of Ilbay. I
think he's using it more as a weapon in this round now, not just a rangefinder. I mean, he's throwing it with some intent.
Well, let's put it this way, Rich. You said a rangefinder, he's found the range. See him feint with that right hand the way he did that. You don't see a lot of guys do that with the right hand. They're too concerned about getting counted, but Kavaliauskas is filled with confidence. Well, there's the punch that Rich was talking about. I mean, that jab was a punch, and so are those two.
I think Egidijus will use a jab to the body as well. And when you throw the jab as hard as he does, and you throw it to the body, it can be a damaging punch. Be an effective weapon for you.
He continues to double the jab. There's the right hand. He throws the right hand and then comes back and uppercuts with it, and then comes right back with a hook.
Ilbay can't get off. He cannot get off. He's too busy defending himself.
That's a problem for him because Kavaliauskas, you never know from whence it's coming. Okay, so Christina is there with Vasily Lomachenko.
Vasily, good to see you. It's been a little while since November that we've seen you in the ring. How have you been staying busy?
Василий, очень хорошо мы тебя видеть. Как проводил свое время до тех пор, пока не виделись?
Ну, я находился дома, находился со своей семьей, и как раз получилось так, что я застал время морозов, и я делал свое любимое дело после бокса, это играл в хоккей.
I spent a lot of time with my family. I spent a lot of time at home, and that time came in because it was winter, so I was playing hockey, which is my favorite game after boxing.
Boxing first, then hockey. Well, back to boxing. There's been talks of fight coming up for you in June. One of the first opponents was Nicholas Walters, whose name was thrown out there. You would move up to 130 to fight him, but it seems like he maybe priced himself out of the fight a little bit. What do you think?
Было много разговоров, что ты в следующем бою будешь боксировать Николаса Уолтерса. Что случилось, как по твоему мнению, почему этот бой не произошел?
Да, мы на самом деле думали, что мы будем боксировать с Уолтерсом, и приблизительная дата это 30 апреля. Вроде как устная договоренность была, но потом произошли ряд причин. Первое это, понятно, там, деньги, а вторая это, я не знаю, либо это желание, либо это страх, я не знаю, что это.
Yes, it was in the beginning. It was a lot of talk about that, and the date was already set up for April 30th. I was very happy about it, but after that, the things start falling apart, and I don't know what's happened for sure. Maybe it's some money. Maybe he was didn't want to fight me. I really can't tell what's happened for sure.
All right, well, thanks for your time. It looks like maybe Roman Rocky Martinez is up next June 11th, so we look forward to that. You looking forward to capturing your second title at 130, 126 now to 130.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Vasily. All right, guys.
All right, so we're back here. Vasily Lomachenko, you'll see him in Top Rank Boxing whenever they get it together. The matchmakers over there really know what they're doing.
You ever see anybody transition from amateur to pro the way that Lomachenko did? Unbelievable.
Was right. All right, right now we're in the third round, about midway through the third round, as we've got Egidijus Kavaliauskas in the black trunks and Deniz Ilbay in the red trunks. And Kavaliauskas continues to pound the guy with the jab and occasional body shots. And like you said in the last round, and it's still true in this round, Ilbay just can't seem to get off because of the offense of Kavaliauskas.
That's the problem with having a jab in your face all the time. So busy, you got to put those hands up, defend yourself against the jab. He's trying to get a little more offense going here.
He tried with the right hand lead. That wasn't successful. Look at the power shots that Kavaliauskas landed. Big uppercut. Rick Dracula tells the two fighters, watch the heads, guys. Watch the heads. You see the puffiness underneath that left eye of Kavaliauskas. So the kid Ilbay is getting something through there. I mean, don't forget Ilbay is an undefeated fighter. 15-0, 8 KOs. Hard shots to the body. He works hard.
Yeah, he is punching back a little bit more now in this round.
But not enough to win the round because Kavaliauskas is landing the heavier blows, 3-4 jabs in the face. Now he throws something hard. And the bell ends the third round. A good Kavaliauskas shutting this guy out so far, but that was a more productive round for Ilbay. We've got a couple more fights for you here on our show leading up to the international telecast.
Egidijus Kavaliauskas controlling the fight, using his jab to set up his right hand. When we talked about it being a rangefinder, he uses it often. He'll throw 2 or 3 out there and follow it up with the rights. In this round, we saw Ilbay try to answer back a little bit. He did have a little bit of success in that particular scenario that you saw playing out up against the ropes.
All right, let's go. Pick it up.
So we get ready to move to the 4th round of the scheduled 8-round affair here. And here we go. Kavaliauskas again in the black with the gold trim. Facing you now to the right of your screen in the red trunks is Ilbay. Deniz Ilbay from Cologne, Germany.
Ilbay trying to launch his own body attack, trying to see if he can move Kavaliauskas back.
Problem is, for him, he's shorter. He doesn't have the same reach, and Kavaliauskas is just so busy, and his punches are heavy, too. This kid, Ilbay, is tough, though. Nobody's been shaken so far. Ilbay's taken most of the punishment in the fight. Nobody down, nobody cut. Puffiness around the eyes of both fighters, especially the left cheek of Kavaliauskas, meaning that some of the right hands are getting through there by Ilbay. Time he goes with the left hook, misses with the right hand because of the footwork of Egidijus.
He was winning the fight pretty much with a jab. It's just such a good jab.
But nothing wrong with those hooks to the body, Rich, huh? But if his jab is really a punch, and oh, look, he set up that right hand. This kid's tough. I mean, that was a solid right hand. That'd drop some guys with the power that Egidijus throws punches. He sits down on punches.
What happens, too, is you throw enough of those jabs out, and you get the adversary to just be looking for that jab, waiting for that jab, looking right at that glove. It's going to open it up for your right hand.
Yeah, well, Ilbay is at the point now where I think he's a little on the frustrated side. Look at these clean shots landing.
You know, I thought Larry Holmes was about the best I ever saw at that. He'd just have you drunk with that left hand. I mean, he would hit you the jab, jab, jab. And finally you start waiting on that jab, looking for that jab, and that's when he cracks you with the right.
Well, Larry, oh, there's a nice right hand right there. And another right hand, back-to-back right hand. And a third right hand. Yeah, you mentioned Larry Holmes. You're talking about a Hall of Famer. You're talking about one of the great heavyweights of all time. Came on the heels of Muhammad Ali, so he never got really the international exposure in terms of, you know, the love that people have for heavyweight champions. Larry held his title for a long time. Didn't win it till late, in the best heavyweight fight I think I may have ever seen in all my world title fights. And tonight is $9.99 was Holmes and and Norton for the heavyweight championship of the world. Just a great fight.
Right here in Las Vegas.
Right. Kavaliauskas continues to pot shot him. Uppercuts. The bell ends the 4th round. It's all Kavaliauskas.
Sometimes it's about more than a title. Sometimes it's about more than pride. It's that little voice inside your head that says, we have to finish this. You will commit to overcome pain and fear.
Can't handle your speed, son.
To prove once and for all, you're the best. Pacquiao versus Bradley.
All right, so the Colonel Bob Sheridan back here with Rich Murata. Christina Ponch is with us this evening, handling our interviews in the special color that she always provides. We're getting ready to move to round number 5 here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena as the crowd continues to filter in for a big fight coming up later on. Bradley Pacquiao 3. And this is the 5th round. Egidijus Kavaliauskas in a welterweight battle, undefeated at 12-0, 11 knockouts against Deniz Ilbay of Cologne in Germany. He's 15-0. And so far, Kavaliauskas has been sitting down on those punches and doing a terrific job of it.
Ilbay is in a position, Colonel, where he has to take some chances. He knows that, and he did it in the last round. When he does that, he opens himself up for this kind of assault.
And he just, like, tries to land the right hook, and the left hook, rather, and Kavaliauskas just right on top of him, landing real heavy shots. Look how tough Ilbay is in there. Coming up after this one, we get the NABF Light Heavyweight Championship fight, Alexander Vocek against Najib Mohammadi. Ilbay is tough enough. I'll tell you, been hit with some real hard flush shots by Kavaliauskas, and he'll tell you what kind of condition and training he's in. Got his body in anyway.
At times, time to change and adjust, and throwing a peekaboo style at it. You saw it right there.
The trouble is with that is Kavaliauskas will come downstairs and nail you with that hook. Kavaliauskas is totally confident right now that he can do pretty much whatever he wants to do in this fight.
Yeah, but can he knock him out?
Well, that's going to be it.
He wants to do that.
He certainly does it, and he nailed him with a flush right hand on, I would say, 6, 7, 8 occasions in this fight so far, and hasn't been able to shift the guy. And that goes to what I was talking about Ilbay's great conditioning. And he's breaking him down slowly.
Kavaliauskas certainly has a varied attack.
Yeah, the jab that opens up the right hand.
He punches, it seems, equally well to the body with either hand.
Yeah, and there's a perfect example there. He goes with the right hand downstairs, then back upstairs with the left hook. Just as you said it.
Ilbay's been in a position where he continues to try to figure out what can be most effective for him. And if one thing doesn't work, he just moves on to the next thing. But it's hard to find. Plan B has moved all the way down to about plan F or G by now.
Well, I got a pitch in a shutout through 5. 50-45 on my score sheet. Ilbay is
Egidijus Kavaliauskas has been dominant in this fight because he's kept the man in front of him on the defensive most of the fight. And there you see, although Deniz Ilbay has tried to fight back, he's been ineffective. because he just simply has to defend himself against a variety of punches that his opponent is throwing.
So we get ready to move to round number 6 here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Colonel Bob Sheridan here with Rich Murata and Christina Punches with us. Our principals in there, Egidijus Kavaliauskas in the black and gold. Deniz Ilbay making a good account of himself, although he's not winning any rounds. He's a very, very tough and very good fighter. But this guy, Egidijus, is just a step up in class.
It seems like Kavaliauskas will double with his jab almost as often. There's a good combination from Deniz Ilbay, but he'll double with the jab almost as much as he throws a single jab out there.
Doubles with the jab. He'll hook twice. He'll hook with the right, kind of a right cross to the body, and then hook with his left hand back upstairs or downstairs. You never know from where it's coming, and that's tough for Ilbay to get off offensively. So Ilbay tries the feint, and then he doesn't throw. He's cut the nose of Kavaliauskas with that left hook, but I feel bad for Ilbay in a way because, he's a nice little fighter, and he just can't do anything with this guy. I know that the top-ranked fighter is Kavaliauskas, and everybody here in Las Vegas wants to see him do well, and he certainly is doing well, making a great account of himself. Loads up the left hand, and if this whistles past the whiskers of Ilbay. Ilbay, right back.
You wonder if at times, Kavaliauskas is so compact, and his arms are quite short. If he faces a guy who really has range on him, if he'll find that a difficult equation, because he does so much. When he's got a fighter here of a similar stature, he can really reach him with the jab. I wonder what will happen when he finds a fighter that is very difficult, a mover who is tough to hit with a jab.
Well, the thing, Rich, as I see it, is he moves so well on his feet too, and then his jab can become effective because he does other things so well, including his hooks to the body from both sides. And so I think that question could be answered by his movement and getting his angle, so his jab will be all right. But it's a very interesting thought, and certainly a great question to be asking at this stage.
Angles may be the key in the future if he comes up against that situation.
I mean, here he can just stand in front of this guy because he's pot-shotting him with the jab, and if he can't get that through, which is very seldom, he just goes to plan B or C. He's got all kinds of offense. Just a nice boxing round again for Egidijus Kavaliauskas.
Ilbay was actually using the old cross-armed Archie Moore and George Foreman defense there to try to stop.
Anything to try and stop.
It's on to plan H. We've seen an orthodox defense, a peekaboo defense, the cross-arm defense. It's tough, certainly.
I've got it 60-54 with every round going to Kavaliauskas as we head to the 7th round.
Give him too many breaks. Okay? You're giving him too many breaks. Yeah, he's trying to take a punch.
There's a tiny gash under the left eye of Ilbay. Done a nice job of working on the face of him.
Instead of one punch, you're going to throw 3 punches. All right?
Kavaliauskas a little bit of a nick, too, under his left eye.
That's good. That my vacuum.
I don't speak German, but I think he said, come on, let's get going. I don't know how he can do any better than he's doing against this guy. Here we go. Round 7 of 8. He's trying to turn it up a little bit, but as he does that, Kavaliauskas has hit him with about 6 punches before Ilbay is even able to get one off. The kid's tough enough. But there's got to be a frustrating fact. I mean, I'm fighting this guy. I'm just thinking of myself in there fighting, and I'm the guy in the red trunks. I'm very frustrated right now. I can't do anything with this guy.
Remember, Kavaliauskas has 11 KOs in 12 fights. And Ilbay really has not been close to going down. I mean,
he's in great shape, Rich, and he's been able to gobble up the power. And Ilbay, don't forget, this kid's an undefeated fighter. He's a very good fighter, but he's just outclassed by Kavaliauskas right now.
Well, sometimes it's a bit of a shock when young undefeated fighters find out what that next level is really like.
Well, this is a better fighter than a lot of the fighters that Kavaliauskas has fought as well. But Kavaliauskas is the guy that's the cream rising to the surface here. This is a nice little fighter, a tough fighter in great condition, but he's having a very difficult time hanging in there with Egidijus Kavaliauskas, who had an extensive amateur background, a lot of international competition. He's not the first German that this guy's fought. Barring with that jab, which usually means some power shots coming behind it. Uppercut, nice counter by Ilbay, but doesn't have any effect on Kavaliauskas.
Again, I think somebody in the future, you've got to establish some distance, I think, with Kavaliauskas. He's like always been within punching range since the opening bell of this fight.
But he does a nice job too, Rich. When you talk defensively, he's slipping punches. You see him roll the head, roll the body, roll the shoulders, duck. He's a full package. All right, Christina Punch, we understand, is with Tim Bradley, so let's get right to Christina.
It's all right now. It's just a real moment right now for me. Didn't expect to be here doing this again for the third time, but it's here. It's here now. And everything that I've trained for 8 weeks with Teddy and my team, man, we're ready. We're ready for this challenge. I'm ready more than ever this time. If you ever had a dream, especially the kids, if you ever had a dream and started something very young, and you got an opportunity to achieve it now. You sacrificed and did what you're supposed to do to get in this position to be at the highest level of boxing. And whatever it is you want to do, man, that's the reason why you should watch this fight, honestly. I'm getting another shot, another crack at greatness, another shot at history, and I'm very thankful for it. And just watch me do me Saturday night. Watch me do me, man. I'm going to bring it home.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we're back here. This is round number 8. Kavaliauskas, I've got him pitching a shutout here, 70-63 on my score sheet. And as Rich said, let's see if he can close the show with a knockout instead. Look at Ilbay. He hasn't come to lay down, has he?
No, he came out, a concerted body attack. Now he's trying to shift it to the head. Good for him. Look at him go.
This is why I admire prize fighters. The guy's taking a pretty good beating. And in the final round, he says, well, you're not going to forget that you fought me anyway. Tough little guy. That stiff jab again, and he shakes his head. Oh, man, wait, look at that come. Hard body shots where Kavaliauskas sits down on the punch. And Ilbay in terrific shape to gobble up the damage that he has felt with the punches of Kavaliauskas in this fight. Hard right hand. Right on the cheek. And another right hand behind the ear. And a solid right hand. Midway through the final round of this fight.
I think Ilbay deserves another chance. I'm sure he would ask top-ranked matchmakers to Get him somebody who's not quite such a rock'em sock'em robot.
These are hard shots now. The right hand first, and the 2 uppercuts. Just no quitting Ilbay. Under a minute to go now. Slick foot movement that time at Ilbay. He throws out the punch, then he gets countered right away.
Yeah.
Everything he does well gets countered by.
Right, yeah, and it shows you another ability of Kavaliauskas to counterpunch. He's really quite an impressive fighter in there.
Yeah, he gets a kid that I think is, really good, but this is a different step up now for him. And Kavaliauskas has certainly risen to the occasion. Last few seconds of the fight now. There's the bell ending the fight. Kavaliauskas, in my opinion, has pitched the shutout. 80-72.
I would agree, but that was a real tough kid that he was in there with. Kid who quite clearly takes a tremendous shot. Never got really, in my mind, rocked to the point where he was in any real danger of being stopped or even going down.
And then he got cut in the last round. He was, beat up pretty good was Ilbay, and very, very tough kid, and I admire a fighter like this.
I think Kavaliauskas, again, has shown he's got a real future.
Egidijus Kavaliauskas, who handles a lot of these kids from, the former Russian bloc and Russian countries, up there to congratulate his fighter. I scored at 80-72. Kermit Bayless, the referee's brother, who was from the state of California as a judge. And watch this.
Triple lefts. Excellent. Most of it set up by the jab, which you see working to such great effect there. That's what we talk about, how he doubles up on it. He throws, it seems like, as many times will throw 2 jabs at once as he will throwing 1 jab.
Gee. It looks terrific, huh?
Very impressive.
All right, Lupe Contreras is standing by. Let's get the official score. Here we go. Here's Lupe Contreras.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, all 3 judges are in agreement, turning in identical scorecards of 80-72. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. The Mean Machine, Egidijus Kavaliauskas.
So Kavaliauskas wins the unanimous decision. All 3 judges had it the same way Rich and I had it. Easy fight to score because Kavaliauskas was totally dominant in every round. But I give a lot of credit to Deniz Ilbay, who came here to fight and withstood real tough assault throughout the course of the evening. Nice job.
Yeah, I don't think you have to fear moving up Kavaliauskas to tougher and really strong competition.
No, not at all.